G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel, and we've got news, we've got good news, man. We're having some fucking great times at the Aussie Gooner channel now, but before we get into all the good news that I've heard recently, I'm going to introduce you guys to my co-host today and my continual co-host, Akpos. Akpos, man, how's things, bro? How you been, man?
Well, I'm doing good. It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan right now. It's a good time to be a football fan, to be a football enthusiastic. With all of this football going on around all of those different competitions. So I'm excited. A big one. We saw that the Europa League draws are out today. So we're going to be facing Sporting, a Portuguese team. So I'm excited about that one. I'm also excited to see how our manager will utilize our squad in both competitions going forward in the next couple of games also.
Look, to be honest, that was an interesting draw for us. Wasn't expecting it to be a walk in the park, but, Sporting, no pushover. But you're right. It's about trying to figure out how we're going to be able to use players like Trossard, Jorginho, and what's happening with Thomas Partey. That's another thing that's been happening. Everybody in the chat, big up. Malaya, big chat, big up for joining us today. Big up. Oh, you were so funny on Egal's show last night. Man, I jumped on Egal's show. He was chatting Chelsea, Akpos. He was chatting a bit of Chelsea, and I thought, I got to get in. I mean, everyone's chatting Chelsea. I got to get in.
I hope Chelsea Dan was on that one.
I had another Chelsea fan there, as you can see, saying Aussie, the Chelsea fan was sweating because I came out and I spat it straight. This is your issue. Wake the fuck up. Your problem is up the top, bruh. Bowley is up shit creek without a paddle. Yeah, Potter in my Chelsea, mate. Long may the demise continue. Yes, bloody oath.
I was doing the interviews for the Europa League playoff yesterday. I was interviewing some Manchester United fans about the game, after the game, and one of the Manchester United fans said they are not Chelsea currently, who spent $500 million to score just a single goal. And the way it looks now, Joe Felix goal is going to win their goal of the month for February. The way it's looking up. So let's see.
I mean, should we let them have Jorginho's goal against Aston Villa just to help them out?
I don't think the Premier League would allow that. They even gave it to Martinez. So
they gave the header to Martinez.
That's not an option for them.
Yeah, so we can't even give him that, man. We can't even give him that to help the goal difference. Because Chelsea need anything to get them to climb up that ladder right now. They're looking like a shit show fucking shambles. And you know what? I love to see it. I love to see it because, you know what, Akpos? Once upon a time, I used to see these guys, man, mid-table and down. Save the bridge sign. Save the fucking bridge, man. That's how it used to be. And you know what? This is bringing back those really good memories. You know what I mean? Those really good memories. And Chelsea OG saying, no, Potter out. No.
Potter in.
Oh, no.
We need Potter in.
Potter in. Pottering in. Potter in. That's what we want. We want Bowley in. We want Potter in. Anyone that Bowley wants in, Arsenal fans want him in. That's what we want. Exactly. We want every single possible Bowley friggin' thought. We want it to happen for Chelsea because I think that would be the best present for any Arsenal fan or even a Spurs fan right now. But look. Chelsea aside, because this has nothing to do with Chelsea. Fuck Chelsea. Here we go. Also, Arsenal will lose this game and throw away the title. Oh. This is the smallest violin in the world. I'm playing it for you. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. Oh, friend. Hey, guys, looking forward to the preview. Leicester are quite an unpredictable team. And you know what? I'm going to jump into this Leicester one. I'm going to jump into this Leicester team because, to be honest, they have been, hit and miss Leicester. Let's be honest. Their last couple of games haven't been a fucking walk in the park. They had that loss against Man United. But previously, I think they had that mad win against, what was it, against Villa? They had a really good game against Villa. And to be perfectly honest, they're looking like a team that's trying to friggin' build back up, trying to get back up to winning ways. I know James Maddison isn't having a bad season this season, but you know what? My boy Yuri Tielemans is having a hard time trying to find game time. And at the moment, he's being benched. Akpos, do you think that Tielemans is being benched because of this contract situation? Because it's not like he's a joke of a player.
I think the old Yuri Tielemans thing, the talks, the links of him being linked with all clubs during the summer transfer window. I think all of that must have affected his form. And the whole thing going on with Leicester, I think it's a whole team thing, and also with the fact that the owners have taken monies out of the club. They've sold some players for massive transfer fees, and they've not reinvested even a quarter of the money they've sold these players for back in the team. So the team definitely will suffer. This is a very competitive league.
Yeah.
We've seen some teams like Nottingham Forest sign over 28 players or 27 players in this division, trying to stay up there. So it's definitely going to be competitive. And I think I'm sorry for the manager right now, because I feel like he's not getting the backing that he deserves with
he's not
work done at the football club also. So, but Yuri Tillemans, I think that all of those links, all of those transfer talks must have taken his mind a little bit out of the project of Leicester City. And if we look at it, a player who does not want to extend their contract and wants to run down their contract, possibly leave for a free transfer. As a manager, and I have other players in my team that could potentially develop. I would want to develop my other players who have long-term contracts with the club, because this guy is somebody who's already has one foot out of the club already. So I think that these are factors, these are pointers that could potentially affect why he's not getting enough game time, and also his form is not helping out issues. So it's not just Yuri Tillemans. Also, I need to talk about Wilfred Ndidi, because this is one of our own, one player.
One of your own, bro.
I even have a Leicester shirt of him. So this is a player who has been in the last couple of years one of the top performers for this Leicester team. Not just the Leicester team, one of the top performers for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And this is a player who, every time he comes on the pitch, is always leaving his all. He's always, even in games where he's not having the best of days, he's always doing his best to perform for the team. But he's also one player who's not having very good time right now. I don't know what is the issue with him, but I'm hoping that in real soon we will see him back at his best, because he was one of the players who was getting into the conversation of who the best defensive midfielders are in the division in the last couple of years. So his form this season has been one for me that I think, like, I can't just point fingers solely to Yuri Tillemans. It's just the entire team. I think it's the entire unit for me.
I'll look at Ndidi, and this is Facts on Football Capital. I was going to get to that as well. Yeah, they did beat Spurs. I mean, everyone's sort of beaten Spurs, but they did beat Spurs convincingly. And James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, two players that have been performing at the moment, and have been performing pretty well for fucking Leicester throughout the years, came up to play some football in that game. The players that I'm worried about, like for me, I thought to myself, Yuri Tillemans would be a player that you'd worry about. Ndidi, but Ndidi's been missing for the last 3 games. MIA. Yuri Tillemans hasn't got a start for the last 3. So these are two midfielders.
And he's also a doubt.
And he's also Ndidi's a doubt, or Tillemans?
Yuri Tillemans. No, sorry, James Maddison is a doubt. Sorry, Yuri Tillemans was on the bench for the last one. If
James Maddison is a doubt, we're laughing, because James Maddison has been in great form. I mean, I think he's been their star boy. Their key player, and honestly, with James Maddison out of this game, this is going to be perfect for Arsenal, because that creativity, those goals, he's a danger man. Free kick, in front of goal, looking for openings. He's the kind of player that most people were saying that maybe we should have got him instead of Odegaard. And don't get me wrong, I fucking hate James Maddison. I just fucking hate him. But early on, it was a good case where you think James Maddison looks like the better player between Odegaard and, between the two. At the moment, I think most people could understand that, Odegaard's starting to come good. And if James Maddison becomes available, who knows? Maybe we take him, chuck him on the bench. But I don't think Leicester City are going to want to get rid of James Maddison anytime soon. But the Ndidi situation, that's interesting, Akpos. What's the go with this? Where has he been? I mean, this is a player I rated highly. I thought he was a decent player. I thought he's a good shot for Arsenal. But
Wilfred Ndidi missing that World Cup qualifiers playoff with the Ghanaian, the Black Stars of Ghana, I think was one of the reasons why we did not make the World Cup. Because Thomas Partey had a field day in Wilfred Ndidi's absence in that encounter. and the second leg actually played in Nigeria. So Wilfred Ndidi is not just a key player for the Leicester City team, it's also a key player for our national team. And every time I see him on the pitch, I know that he's going to give his 100%. Even in friendlies, there are some friendly games he has played for the national team. I'm seeing him putting in tackles that you would not see from some players in a friendly game. So this is a player who always, in terms of the effort is always there. So I don't really know what's going on with him right now in terms of the drop of form and not getting as much game time, because we've seen in the last couple of years, we've seen him play different positions for this Leicester team, center backs, defensive midfield.
Yeah,
because he's one of the names who's always on the team list, always on the team sheet.
yeah.
So I think we're seeing a different Wilfred Ndidi this season, and I'm hoping that we are going to see the more regular Wilfred Ndidi, but not in this game against my beloved Arsenal, though.
No, I mean, obviously, look, I'd be happy to see Ndidi nowhere near the game. I mean, to be perfectly honest, no Yuri Tielemans, no Ndidi. And look, there was a shout here was saying, Yuri Tielemans was hyped to begin with. Look, to be honest, I watched Yuri Tielemans for a good season.
I don't agree.
I don't agree either. Yuri Tielemans is a decent midfielder, a very good midfielder, actually. I just think at the moment, because of the contract situation, I couldn't agree more with Akpos. I think he's being benched for like, you know what? You don't want to sign. We're going to put you on the bench, and players that want to stay at Leicester City, well, they're going to be starting over you because, of course, they're going to be our future and you're going to be our past. So they're going to be using and abusing him just off the bench. And when we need a midfielder to come in, jump in, do your job, get the hell out of Dodge, because we really couldn't care. We couldn't give two fucks about you since you don't give two fucks about the club. To be perfectly honest, this is a player I'd like at Arsenal, regardless of what's been going on now in the later stages of the season. Because at the start of the season, this guy, remember, was banging in goals from outside the box and everybody was in awe of them. For me, look, the James Maddison situation. I'm thinking to myself, that could be wonderful if he is in doubt for this game. I mean, for them, without James Maddison, Iheanacho, Barnes, they're not going to be anywhere near as influential. This is the guy who links up all the play in the midfield. To be honest, that'd take him out at the knees. And for them, that'd be a massive loss in the midfield. For us at the moment, one of the biggest losses in the midfield is Thomas Partey. And there is the news at the moment is that he's not going to be fit for this game. And apparently he hasn't even been in training. So it's looking like Partey will miss this game as well. And it will be Jorginho coming in. I don't know, Akpos, what do you think about Jorginho coming into starting this game against Leicester instead of Thomas Partey? I mean, is this Thomas Partey injury something to worry about? Is it concerning? Because, we're talking what? It's been a few games now, and he's a key player. The Europa League's kicking in, and our starting DM is starting to show his frailties.
Every time Thomas Partey goes down, my own boy is always having a meltdown, because he's the one person who says that if you take out Thomas Partey, you see a different Arsenal. Every time he's screaming, getting the cover for Thomas Partey. And in the game against Aston Villa, we've seen what a potential cover for Thomas Partey could do, with Jorginho coming in and taking control of that midfield area, because Thomas Partey is very integral to the way we play, because that solidity, that cover for the defense every time he's playing for us, I think it's massive, because he has got the legs to track back and all. But with Jorginho, we have a different player in our hands, a player who's has got a different playing style compared to Thomas Partey, different qualities and different attributes that he can potentially bring to the team. So I think we need to look at the bigger picture with Thomas Partey. If he is not fully fit, I don't think we should risk him, because there are still a lot of games at hand for the rest of the season. We still have the Europa League round of 16 ties that are still going to be very crucial for this season, because that's a chance to potentially winning a trophy for the season. So if Thomas Partey is not fully fit, he should be rested. Jorginho seems like he can get the job done. He proved it against Aston Villa. I think it could still potentially do it against Leicester. I think at the end of the day, it's for us to play together as a unit, because one of the big strengths of this team I'm looking at, it's not about individuals for this team. It's about playing as a unit, playing together as a team, because no matter how we want to talk about it, a team will always perform more than, let's say, an individual or 4 individuals. So when you have a unit that understands their roles, that every player understands that this is what I have to contribute, this is what I have to bring to the table, I think the team is going to excel. And that's what we're seeing, that even when players, some of the key players are taken away from the equation, are taken away from the formation, we still have the team firing. Gabriel Jesus got injured. The team was still pushing and pushing ahead because we did not build solely just with Gabriel Jesus. We build in a system. So I think Jorginho can still come in to do the job, but we need to be always cautious with Thomas Partey. And this is what we've been screaming for. We need that long-term cover. We need that long-term cover. And we hope that the manager and the owners, because I think the owners are a big factor in this Thomas Partey whole situation, because we don't know what's going on behind the scene. They need to bring out the checkbook and give it to the manager to bring in a player. And we know that for a player to come in as where the level where this team is right now, we need to bring in top quality, and that's going to be a lot of money. And we saw how much was going in for Moses Caicedo during the winter. So it's going to be a marquee signing, in my opinion. So the owners need to look for a long-term plan. Jorginho seems to be like a short fix of the problem right now, but we need, I think, more a player in that mode of Thomas Partey who has got the legs, who can track back and protect the defense some more. That's what I think about the Thomas Partey issue.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the Thomas Partey situation is a bit of cause for concern for me. He's a great player, but he is key to our build-up. He's key to our defense, trying to get the ball out from the back. He's also key to actually helping out our defenders, like, you see Ben White on that right-hand side, and with Thomas Partey there coming in to cover for him, Ben White's got more of an opportunity to go forward. And when he does have his, dodgy defensive moments, Thomas Partey drops into that position and covers it pretty well. Or slows the game down enough for Ben White to come back into position. You've noticed that since Partey has started to drop off a little bit, Ben White's form's gone to shit, and we've started to see Takahiro come in. Now, that's not a bad thing. Takahiro Tomiyasu, to me, is a great right back. At the moment, better defense, a lot better. Not at the moment, but better defensively than Ben White. But it just seems like you were saying, the plans that we do have. We don't have a Thomas Partey. Jorginho comes in. Maybe Takahiro should start. I think in this game, if Jorginho does start, and more than likely will start, I don't think Ben White should be starting in the right back position. I think I'd rather Takahiro Tomiyasu start there. I don't know. I just think for me, Ben White is a kind of player at the moment that's struggling for form. I know it might hit his confidence a bit. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think. But I'm a little bit worried about him going forward and getting caught out on that right-hand side, especially without Thomas Partey there to come in and cover. Also, even when it comes into like link-up play, you notice that Ben White is very good at back and 1-2s with Thomas Partey and looking at his positioning. I don't think he has that sort of connection with Jorginho at the moment. And when you've got a defender who's already down on form and he's playing with a midfielder who's in front of him who's not sort of part of the mix at the moment, it'll just maybe show his little chinks in his armor a little bit more. I think Takahiro is a little bit more solid in the back position. And probably give us a bit more defensive cover. Maybe make our backs a little bit more solid. But at the same time, we won't be caught out with Takahiro. I know he had a bit of a howler, but he hasn't had too many games. I don't know. That's what I feel on Partey, but that's what I think about Ben White as well. I don't know. Do you see Ben White starting this game? Would you rather Takahiro or would you rather Ben White?
I think with that understanding between Jorginho and Ben White, I think it's still an early stage because we've not seen both players have not really played together much. Jorginho just joined the team in January, and all of this we need some time to build all of that understanding and that interchanging plays and all of that. So, but I think I hear your point, and I can't disagree with what you're saying about Tomiyasu coming in that game, and especially if they're going to be having James Maddison fit and available for that game. I think we would need some solidity in terms of that defense. And Kelechi Iheanacho is looking like a striker who has got a goal or two in him and is scoring for fun right now. Is keeping Jamie Vardy out of the team. So we need to be wary of the threats that it possesses in terms of going forward, because the Leicester team, I don't think the problem they have, it's really about going forward. They've got goals in that team. It's
Yeah.
the fact that they have a defense that's licking goals from all corners right now, and in the absence of Johnny Evans, Justin, I think like we will potentially get a goal or two in that game. So, but we definitely need to close shop in terms of these goals we are conceding. We considered two against Aston Villa.
Exactly.
We showed resilience to get back into the game, but we need to stop conceding goals. We need the clean sheets. We need to show defensive stability, and that's what Tomiyasu could potentially bring into the team. Because every time he comes into the team, we know that we have a little bit more cover compared to Ben White, but we know that we're going to sacrifice some of those runs that Ben White makes, because I think Ben White has got this understanding with Bukayo Saka more in terms of that right side of the pitch. So I think it's going to be pros and cons for the manager in terms of who is going to field, and especially with the tactics, what he wants to achieve in the first 45 minutes also. So I think they have looked at all of these possibilities. They have reviewed the game against Aston Villa, the goals we are conceding, because I think that's been one of my worries, the fact that we're leaking in goals in the last couple of games. We need to close shop. We need to be more solid on the back, because in some games you might just need a goal or two to win, but when you're considering on the other end, you make it a lot more difficult for you. And our conversion rate is one worry for me. We are missing a lot of chances. So if we don't tend to convert a lot of chances, we need to stop conceding goals on our behind.
Well, look, that's the reason why I was thinking Tomiyasu. Our fluidity going forward hasn't been the best. We're holding onto the ball. The possession is great, but we're not doing anything with it. And when we are getting those chances, the one thing that pissing me off lately, and guys, let me know in the comments, right, is that the player who's got the ball, who's got the opportunity, should be taking crack, second guesses himself, either puts in a pass, takes an extra touch, and then obviously the opportunity goes fucking flying, it goes missing. I think our players just need to fucking pull the trigger. It's look. You need to take the shot on goal. You know, if you don't take the shot on goal, you're gonna miss every single. You're gonna lose every possible opportunity to fucking score. So I think sometimes some of these players have to rate themselves. Granit Xhaka's been guilty of it. Bukayo Saka's been guilty of it. Odegaard's been guilty of it. But yeah, I'm just going to jump into the comments real quick. BX Gunner, good morning. Good morning, man. Big up, man. Big up, everyone. Football Capital in the building, talking about Big Harry Suter. Yeah, watch out. It's a fucking one of ours, mate. Big boy, yes. Don't want him. Look, we just don't want to give away any corners, because this guy in the air, fucking problems, especially against Saliba and Gabriel. I don't think it's going to be a good idea for us when it comes to set pieces. And we have been leaking goal set pieces. Have you noticed that lately?
Exactly. In the last couple of games. Last season, we were the set piece merchant last season.
Yeah.
This season, we are leaking goals.
And then we got a guy of his height, his capability, scoring goals for shits and giggles. And now he's just signed for Leicester. He's going to want to make an impact. And what better place to do it? What better game to do it against Arsenal? Chelsea OG says Iheanacho is also good. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Iheanacho, look, can't knock him. Jamie Vardy's out of fucking form at the moment, but Iheanacho stepped up and he's doing the bits. Fran's in saying, I hope Vardy plays. He cracks me up. Vardy should be in a wheelchair. Remember him downing 2 Red Bulls before coming on the pitch this season. Look, at least it's no fucking inhalers like Liverpool were doing. You know what I mean? At least he's taking something that was kind of legal. Leicester smashed Tottenham. Yes, they did. They also took out Aston Villa, just like Fran said. Their loss came to Manchester United. But look at the loss against Manchester United. How many goals scored by Man United in that game? 3. Just like Akpos was saying, they're good going forward, but tragic going back. That might work to our advantage, because at the moment we're not clinical. I think at the moment we need to create 6 chances for us to take 1. And what can you do, eh? Hey, how are you not watching the Europa League draw? Done and dusted, bro. Done and dusted. Hopefully we get Juventus. Fuck Juventus. I don't want nothing to do with Juventus. Please, no. Who cares about a Europa League draw? Chelsea OG, don't worry. You're not going to have European football next season. Don't worry about it. It's all over, bro. It's all over. For Chelsea at the moment, bro, it's all over. Todd Bowley effect, mate. You can thank him for that. I think the draw is happening, bro. I'm looking. I've got my fucking screen on it now. I'm just waiting for it. Here we go. Oh God, we got Sporting though. Akpos, you want to correct him?
Yeah, we did. We got Sporting Lisbon. Yeah,
it's not going to be easy, guys. I don't think they're going to be a walk in the park. They're not. They're a tough team. And I think it's going to be key for us to look at, like you were saying, how we're going to go through and how we're going to be using our bench and as well as our starting lineup players in these games against Sporting. I don't think that we should be going in with a full starting 11 against Sporting, mainly because we've got the league. You know
I think we'll see more of Fabio Vieira in both encounters.
You reckon? You reckon he'll get more? And ESR's a good shout at the moment.
I think he understands the way Portuguese opposition are going to play. So I think we will see we will get some hints on how to approach the game, because definitely he must have faced Sporting during his time in the Portuguese league, also playing for FC Porto. So interesting one to see. And I think the way the pass to Gabriel Martinelli, I think those two are also building. They are also building an understanding on the pitch and off the pitch. Seems like Martinelli has helped him integrate into the squad, and so it's going to be an interesting one for me also, because I think it's a player who's taking his time trying to integrate into the team.
Yeah,
and this is what I think we should try to do now. Now that we have first-team players who are performing, when we bring in players, we take off the pressure of them trying to perform immediately, of them trying to hit the ground running immediately. Because with the fact that Martin Odegaard has been getting the job done, no pressure whatsoever on Fabio Vieira at the moment. Every time he comes into the team, plays decent, get the job done. We are not hearing fans talking about, okay, we paid this amount for this player, we need him performing right away. So I think now is the best time for the owners, for the managers to do what they can and potentially bring in players in these positions where we need reinforcement, in my opinion, come the summer.
Look, I think covering our wings would probably be a good move. I know we got Trossard. We got Trossard playing in now, coming on the left-hand side. The right-hand side, they say Fabio Vieira can play that, but I'm not really convinced. It's an opportunity for Reece Nelson, maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe, but he's also injuries. Emil Smith-Rowe, there's been talks about him, looking good in training, and he's looking fit. Is he going to start this game? Is he going to be on the bench for this game and maybe show us something? It would be nice. I really want to see a little bit of Emil Smith-Rowe at the moment, because with these Europa League games going to be coming in, especially against Sporting, he's the kind of player we could use in those games. Don't get me wrong. I know we got Trossard, I know we got Martinelli, but with Trossard playing a false 9, you could put Eddie Nketiah on the bench, put Trossard as a false 9, maybe put in Emil Smith-Rowe on the left wing. Do you know what I mean? Maybe start Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side, throw in a Nelson. I think we do have to chop and change between our starting line, because with these two competitions right now, I know Leicester's there now, up for grabs, 3 points. And look, Fran's saying, if Maddison is injured, it definitely means we have Leicester to worry about. I hope so. Again, there's no pushovers in the Premier League. No. Look at the last couple of games that we've played. They haven't been great. They've been kind of a shit show shambles.
Just look at Man City, Nottingham Forest also. No pushovers in this league. Every game you need to take it very seriously.
Yeah. And Manchester City were going in there on paper. You look at Manchester City squad, you say on paper, they're going to beat anyone. Anyone. They'll take anyone on paper. But the game isn't played on paper. At the moment, unfortunately, not at the moment, but it's always been played on the pitch. And with Arsenal, they were in a great run of form. On paper, they didn't look like they should have been where they were, but they are. We are showing some frailties, but this game against Aston Villa, I hope, is going to, give us a bit of trajectory, a little bit of a fucking bounce back, so we can get back into what we do best, and that's winning these games that we should be winning, collecting our 3 points and moving on. You drop points to the bigger teams, I can understand that, but not the lesser teams. And not to take anything away from Leicester, but let's be honest, they haven't been fucking great this season. They've been a bit of a laugh. You know what I mean? So, Chelsea OG. What do you reckon, Akpos? Do you think he wants Jorginho back? Is the reason why Chelsea are playing so poorly is because they threw Jorginho out? Do they need some Jorginho?
I think they would take him. They would take him in a heartbeat right now. Anybody who shoots on target, they would take anybody who shoots on target. They would take that person in a heartbeat. Big up.
Big up Chelsea OG. Big up DWTT. Morning AG. Akpos in the chat room. Big up. Here we go. From across the pond. Arteta said today that depending on how Partey trains today, that he could be available for tomorrow's game. Now, this is what Akpos was saying. It's not worth the risk for tomorrow's game. Now, you know what? I tend to agree with Akpos in this one. The reason why is because when we rush back a player from injury, especially a player as important as Partey, we could put him out for 2, 3, 4 weeks. I think if Jorginho can do a job in the midfield, Granit Xhaka, Odegaard to be missing one midfielder won't be the end of us against this Leicester City team. Don't get me wrong, you can put him on the bench, bring him on for 30 minutes if we really need a massive change. But I wouldn't want to, the way it's going to leave it up to a last-minute training session for him to, qualify to play for this game. I'm sorry. Not for me, man. I don't know about you, Akpos. I don't even want to know about that.
I totally agree with you, and we know that the officials are coming very quick. So I like you've just said, if it's not 100%, if they're going to leave it to just the final the training session before the game, before they would bring out an evaluation of if he's going to be fit to play or not, I don't think that we should be taking that risk, because it might not be fit. It might affect the team dynamics. Also, we should look at that part of playing a player who's not 100% also. But we know the effort is going to be there. But sometimes you might have the effort, but when the body is not willing, so we need to look at all of these factors. And if it's not 100%, because of the other games, there's still a lot of games. There's still a lot of deciders in this season. So why would we want to risk him and miss him out for, let's say, 2-3 weeks or a month, when he could sit out one game? We have other players who could get the job done. And like you rightly said, he could be on the bench. If it's needed, 30 minutes, he can come in and, have a run in and, try to get him back to being 100% again. So I think I would love to see Jorginho start this game ahead of him.
DWTT agrees, says don't start Partey. Please let him come off the bench, right? Yeah, right, bro. Righty on, bro. No, I don't want him to start, bro. And he's a great player, but I don't want to risk him. I'm sorry. Across the pond, here we go. Luke says, I'd start Jorginho with a view to give Partey 20 minutes, and if all good, start him against Everton. There you go. See, this makes sense. I think everyone's seeing eye to eye on this. Big up, guys. Big up. Just going to go through your comments real quick. DWTT saying good morning to everybody. It's good night here, but it's all good. Oops, me, Gary. What do we got here, guys? What do we got here? Chat, here we go. So, Sporting beat Tottenham in the group stages. Well, the Sporting situation, like I said, I am not taking Sporting lightly. But I'm not taking the Premier League lightly either. These are two massive competitions. I think rotation is key. For me, now correct me if I'm wrong, Akpos. I think the Premier League is where we kind of throw all our chips in, and we're going to always want to start our starting 11 when we can, right? As and make it our priority. The Europa League is going to be where we kind of chop and change. Now, don't chop and change to the point of ridiculous, where it's shit players. We're talking fucking, shit cunts all around. I'm saying if we're going to play our centre-backs, one starting centre-back next to a bench centre-back, you start Kieran Tierney, you start Takahiro Tomiyasu. Partey's fit, you start Jorginho. Maybe Granit Xhaka and Odegaard have to start, or maybe ESR. That's sort of a chop and change, where it's still a strong squad, but it's not every single one of our starting players, in order for us to be able to compete in the Premier League and also compete in the Europa League. You know what I mean? It's best of both worlds, and I don't want to let go of this. I like this title run that we're in at the moment. I don't want to risk it.
You mentioned a player I did love us to touch a little bit on the show. You mentioned Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
What do you and the rest of the Gunner fans on the chat room think about the links with Kieran Tierney and Newcastle United? Because we know that it's not going to continue to want to play second fiddle the way it's looking.
Yeah.
Because it seems Zinchenko has got that left back spot as the mainstay, the first choice left back right now. So what do you guys think? Should we cash out on Kieran Tierney in the summer? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Ooh. And especially, we also need to keep an eye on Nuno Tavares with what he's doing in Olympique Marseille right now. It's having a good season, having a good time out there. What do you guys think? Because the player is going to play a big role on this one. Will he want to continue to play second fiddle if he does not continue to get game time? What do you guys think on that one? Sell him or keep him?
That's a good one. Kieran Tierney, does he go? Do we cash in, or do we do our best to keep him and guarantee him an opportunity to start? You know what I mean? Fight for your position. And I know everyone's going to be saying, well, Kieran Tierney is going to want to leave, but we don't know what Kieran Tierney wants, because At the moment, Kieran Tierney's saying, I love Arsenal. I want to stay at Arsenal. But
Exactly.
are we, as Arsenal, should we be cashing in on Kieran Tierney? Or should it be Nuno Tavares? Now, Nuno Tavares is a left back that loves going forward, can't go back. You know, Zinchenko's a left back that likes going forward and through the middle, but doesn't like going back. Would we look a little bit weak if we got rid of Kieran Tierney and had two like-for-life left backs?
Yeah.
You know, no difference. You take off a Zinchenko, you bring on a Tavares, you got another player that goes forward but can't go back. So I like the idea of Takahiro Tomiyasu and Ben White. Takahiro more defensive-minded, Ben White pretty good going forward. I'd like to have the same sort of dynamic on the left-hand side, which I've got right now. But guys, let us know in the comments. Do you think it's Nuno Tavares for sale or is it Kieran Tierney for sale? Who would you fucking get rid of? I don't know. Not for me. I'd say Tavares, but I don't know. Jorginho's sort of unique. Look, to be honest, he came in, he did a job, and that goal opened up the game for us. If it wasn't for that goal, it was neck and neck with Aston Villa. Big up Jorginho. You know what I mean? I mean, no one was enthused about the signing of Jorginho, but right now we're like, you know what? We'll take that performance from him. And he hasn't been a bad midfielder for us. He hasn't really put too much of a foot wrong. Kyle Walsh Gunner in the building. Big up, Steve. Hope you're well, brother. I'm doing very well, mate. I hope you're doing well, Kyle. If you guys haven't subscribed to Kyle Walsh Gunner TV, please do so. And if you could, Fran is in the building. Fran, in the chat, I need you to put the link to your channel. And Kyle, I want you to do the same. Chuck it in the chat so everyone can find you guys. Nice and easy. No partner tomorrow. We'll lose. We'll lose tomorrow, mate.
It's not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen.
Kyle, it's Leicester City. We're down one player. One player. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. This is not Manchester City. This is not Liverpool. No. Look, I think we can still take the game to Leicester. And I think with the and look, I know Thomas Partey is important. I completely agree with you. But I think the more time Jorginho spends with the starting 11, he can only get better. Do you know what I mean?
True.
He's coming cold. I don't know about you, Akpos. What do you
think? I totally agree with you. And this was something we talked about a couple of minutes ago on the show when we were talking about that dynamics between Jorginho and Ben White not being there. And I was saying that these guys have not played together for they've only played together for only a short while. They've only played together for just how many games? A handful of numbers of games. And how many training sessions have they had together since Jorginho came into the team? So some of these dynamics would need time. Some of these understanding on the pitch, some of this link-up play, some of these, there's some of this understanding that comes with when this player holds the ball, that player playing right next to him understand exactly what he wants to do next. Some of these things comes with training, playing a good number of games together. So Jorginho is still integrating into the team. It's not there yet, but he's a seasoned professional. He's a seasoned international. Also, we should not forget that he's one of the key, one of the senior players in that Italy national team that actually went all the way to win the Euros. So Jorginho is an experienced head. The way I look at it, he does not have the legs. He does not have. We know about all of that, but it's somebody who has experience on the side and who also have a lot of technical ability also on the side because he played in Nasari, he played in that Napoli team, and also with the fact that the manager and Pep potentially were keeping an eye on him even while it was at Napoli, but he only moved to Chelsea with the fact that he was moving to his former boss, his former gaffer. So Jorginho, it's not only the player that we need because personally, that's not my option of cover for Thomas Partey because I needed somebody that had got leg. But we know that if he comes into the team, it brings in a different dynamics. It brings in different qualities into the team. And the manager, because I think like for you to be a good manager, you need to know how best to utilize the qualities of every player you have at your disposal. And that's something Mikel Arteta is showing us with Granit Xhaka, taking him away from defensive duties and pushing him a little bit further up the pitch. That's just bringing out the best of Granit Xhaka, but bringing him down to do those defensive duties. We're going to see some silly cards. We're going to see some silly tackles, but also that's a little bit of tweaking the tactics, a little bit of tweaking the formation has also helped the players and helped the dynamics of the team. So I want to trust the manager to continue to do that, to continue to bring out the best of the players that he has got at his disposal. And hopefully with time, we'll see more from Jorginho and also more from the other players who just joined the team during the winter transfer window and also the summer transfer window.
Look, I think I couldn't agree with you more. I think Mikel Arteta knows the kind of player Jorginho is. I understand that it's not like for like with Thomas Partey. It's not the exact same player. We can't copy Thomas Partey, have a spare on the bench. Yes, Caicedo was a very good option. It hasn't come through, but Jorginho hasn't put a foot wrong at Arsenal yet. And this is a player who's come into a team. He's been relatively stale because he hasn't had too many opportunities, and he's actually playing some decent football. Look at Chelsea Football Club right now with all the signings they've had. None of them have stood out in a good way. We've got Jorginho, a guy who's of age, coming into a new squad, playing a completely different type of football than he's been used to under Potter and Tuchel, and he's come together pretty well. I think, to be honest, Jorginho will be good cover. It is a short-term cover option. And to be perfectly honest, it's about that partnership between him and Xhaka, and also who's going to be on the right-hand side. And at the moment, I think for Jorginho's sake and for Arsenal's sake, it should be Takahiro just for now. I mean, Ben White being a good player, I just don't think they're suited. What do we got here? Here we go. How does Akpos know everything about every team? What a legend, bro! Because he's a friggin' legend. He's a beast. He's a beast, and that's why everybody has to friggin' sign up to his fucking channel, subscribe to it. It's a fucking awesome channel. That's it. I'm gonna find the banner. I gotta find this banner. I gotta find it. Boom, banner's there. That's it. Banner's going, guys. You gotta smash a like on this vid. Please smash a like. It won't hurt you. It's free, and I want you guys to go ahead and please subscribe to Akpos's channel because there'll be love. He will hug you. He will talk to you. He'll caress you. You know what I mean? He's got the looks. He's got the vibe. He's got the charm. Come on. Jump on his channel. Please subscribe. And if you haven't, please subscribe to Fran's channel because Fran, there we go, has put her link in there. Just like I said. There you go. There you go. That's what I want to see. And I want Kyle Walsh-Gunner to do the same thing because if you don't, Kyle, I'm going to come find you. I'll be asking questions. And you don't want me knocking on your door at 2 a.m. before you go to work, me asking you why you haven't put your friggin' link into the fucking chat. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that, Kyle. I don't want to come knocking at your door at 2 a.m. So we look at this game now against Leicester, and I'm looking at the, let's say, key battles that we're going to have in this game. I know the midfield is going to be a big deal, but I think for us at the moment, the biggest issue that we've got is on the wings and how the front front three are going to look. I think Eddie Nketiah is a kind of player that's been out of form, but I think against Leicester, it might be maybe a little bit different. Suter being a big defender, he's good on his feet as well. I think Nketiah is going to have a bit of a hard time, but I don't think Trossard would do very well as a false nine against Suter. I think we have to start with Nketiah. But my question is this an opportunity for Martinelli to come back into the game and back into the team, start, or is it going to be Trossard again? Who is Trossard or Martinelli?
I think in this one, with what Martinelli did in the last couple of minutes when he came into the game against Aston Villa, it was knocking on the manager's door that you can't drop me. You can't drop me. That was what he was saying. I think Trossard did not have the best of game. Also, we'll still need to be patient with these new players coming into the team because they are still not having got enough time with the team yet. They are still integrating into the team, so we need to be patient with our expectation and all. So I look at this game and I look at this as one that is made, especially with this Leicester defense leaking goals. I think this is the game that's made and tailored for Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka on the wings for me in this game.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. I actually wanted Martinelli to start this game. I want Martinelli to start this game because he got that goal against Villa, and I'm hoping that's going to be that goal, that Lacazette moment. Remember when Aubameyang gave him that pen and he just turned on? I'm hoping that's what it's going to be for Martinelli because an on-form Martinelli is a dangerous winger. Here's a good comment here. Tierney contract doesn't expire till 2026. I want £75 million. They got the money at Newcastle. Let's make it 80. Round up. We also should sell Tavares. So you're saying get rid of both our secondary left backs? Oh, depends on which clubs come in for him. If it's Premier League club, then I want 30 minimum. So my man here is saying 75 and 30, 105 million, 2 left backs to be going out the window, and maybe leave us a little bit bare and out there in the transfer market looking for another left back. Look, I wouldn't mind. Now, Akpos, touch base on this. I wouldn't mind getting rid of one of those names, but not both. I don't want to leave us high and dry.
I totally agree with you. We've seen that we need covers to compete in this league for sub 4 or winning the title. Definitely, you're definitely going to need cover. And I don't agree with the idea of selling both unless we are going to bring in an upgrade on the both of them. So, and these positions, the players for these positions does not come cheap. So we also have other positions where we're still looking at what we ideally we need other bodies to come in. So I think we can only sell one, but I think that's going to be a nut for Mikel Arteta and Gaspar Edu to crack. And also we should not forget that Nuno Tavares is currently playing week in, week out for Marseille. Marseille is not a small football club. We should not forget that. So playing week in, week out, I think it's going to be a very difficult decision for the manager at the end of the day, because Kieran Tierney is not playing right now. Nuno Tavares is playing week in, week out football, and one of the first name on the sheet for the manager at Marseille. And also his development is developing well as a player. And so we should also look at that fact and all of these points, because I think it's going to be a difficult call. But at the moment, Tierney is still ahead of Tavares for me, but at the end of the season, things changes on football very quickly. We don't know what's going to happen. If Tierney is going to even come into the next couple of games and dispose Zinchenko off his position. So let's see what happens. And at the end of the season, we could talk about this. But interestingly, I just wanted to point this out on what our thoughts are on the Tierney situation.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree with you more. I think, for me, the way I see it, it's a tough call. I'd rather keep Tierney and let Tavares go. Yes, he's developing well, but I don't know. I've been a fan of Kieran Tierney for a long time. But again, it's all up to the player, it's all up to the manager, and it's all about what's going to be happening behind closed doors. We've got players like, Tavares, Balogun, Tierney. Tierney's at Arsenal with Balogun and Tavares right now, doing bits at the moment. And if we get a good Reece Nelson come back in, we've got some depth out there. We do. Silver One says, people forget that January window is for now. People forget that the January window is for the now. And that's right. We sign players for the now. We didn't sign them for the future. That was a previous window. The Trossard signing was we need a winger in now, a player who can come in and do bits. And he is a player who can come in and do bits. Already got himself a goal. And of course, Jorginho, another player who can come in, fit into the mold relatively easily, and do his bits in the middle of the park. And that's exactly right, Silver Fox. Big up, man. Big up. And guys, please, the Armory, you got to jump onto the Armory TV. Mr. Silver Fox, myself, you will see us there. We will. Oh, Kyle, come on, mate. I'm useless. Okay, guys, Kyle Walsh Gunner TV. I am telling you guys, please, Kyle Walsh Gunner TV. If you haven't already, jump in and subscribe to Kyle Walsh Gunner TV. Kyle is a great guy. He loves Arsenal just as much as every single one of you does here. Big up everyone in the chat. Please smash those like buttons. Share this content, because me and Akpos are trying to get out there. And if you haven't already, look at the ticker. Forget about me. Look at the ticker. See what it says? Look at the ticker. I mean, subliminal messages. I want to send those to Leicester City, Leicester players. You're going to lose. For me, I'm looking at the lineups. I'm going to throw my predicted lineup. Akpos, you tell me what you think. You can throw out yours. In goal, of course, we're going to have Aaron Ramsdale, and I really need this guy to step up and start pulling his head in. There's been, I think, a couple of games that he's been in lately, and a couple of goals that have been through have been kind of his fault. There's been a couple of opportunities for him to make some decent saves, and he's fucking kind of left us fucking wanting the old Aaron Ramsdale. But of course, I'm going to start with Aaron Ramsdale in goal. At right back, I want to see Takahiro Tomiyasu instead of Ben White. I want to solidify a defensive line. Of course, the centre back pairing being Gabriel and William Saliba, Gabriel. At left back, I don't want to go for Kieran Tierney, because that would make both my left back and my right back very defensive minded. So I'm going to start with Zinchenko. But if Zinchenko starts to falter, I'm happy to put Tierney in the second half. The middle of the park is not going to change for me. Jorginho, Xhaka, and Odegaard. The left wing, of course, Martinelli, Saka, and Eddie Nketiah. The lineup is very much what we'd all expect, but that's the kind of lineup that I'd be happy with. The only real change coming at Takahiro Tomiyasu. I want Trossard to come into this game, but this is one thing I want to shout out. If Trossard comes into this game, I don't want him to come in for Martinelli. If Nketiah is not doing anything, I want Martinelli to stay on the pitch, and I want Trossard to come in as either a false nine or to come in on left wing with Martinelli playing down the middle of the park. I don't want to see a like for like swap between Trossard and Martinelli. Akpos, what do you reckon? What would your lineup be for this game?
I can't really disagree with your lineup, and but I still think Mikel Arteta has shown that when he trusts the player, he trusts that player, and I think like
Wenger.
We will potentially see Ben White starting this game. The way I look at it, I think we'll see Ben White starting, and I agree with what you were saying about if Trossard is going to come into this game, it should potentially come in for Eddie. But I'm still looking at Eddie. He's not getting the goals at the moment, but he's still putting in the work. He's still trying to get into this position. He tracked back. I think he puts the Aston Villa defenders under pressure when during the chance that Martin Odegaard missed in that game was as a result of him pressing high up and disposing the defender off the ball. So I think it's still contributing to the team. What's missing right now is the goals. So, but I don't know what the manager is going to decide to do now. Keep faith with him and not let his confidence drop. Play him and potentially could get a goal, and also maybe bring in Trossard in. So I think it's going to be an interesting one to see what the decision the manager and the rest of the coaching crew are going to decide on that attacking position on who starts, because I think we need to take our chances. We have had chances in the last couple of games where we could kill the game off, and we are not converting these chances. So I think that's a worry for me, and we need to. And I know Mikel Arteta definitely would be looking into that, and we need to sort it out as soon as possible.
Oh, definitely. I just feel as if Trossard coming in as a false nine does open up for Martinelli, and vice versa. Martinelli playing as a number 9, Trossard could play on the left, and they can switch over like Jesus and Martinelli used to. Cross fingers. My prediction for this game was, and I think on Eagle TV, I said that it's going to be a 3-1. I honestly think there's going to be goals in this. I don't think we're going to get a clean sheet. I don't see it. Clean sheets for us are fucking rare as. You know what I mean? And I don't believe we'll get another one here. My prediction for this game is 3-1. Akpos, what do you think about this game? And big up Chelsea Dan. Big up. What do you think? What's your score prediction? What's your score prediction?
My score prediction I had planned before the show went live was 3-1, but because you think we are not going to get a clean sheet, I would want to change that to a 3-0 victory to the Arsenal, because I definitely want a clean sheet, because I'm looking at this defense right now. We are leaking in goals, and I think we need to close up shop. We need to solidify that defense. We need to see Aaron Ramsdale celebrating that clean sheet and all of that. So I would love a clean sheet, and I would want to go with a 3-0 victory to the Arsenal.
Wow, guys, let us know in the comments, please. Let us know what your score predictions will be in the comments. Big up Captain's Corner. Lateness is greatness. Better late than ever, mate. Better late than never. Chelsea Dan, big up. BX Gunner, big up. Big up everyone in the chat. Now, the last topic we've got is probably one of the most important topics.
And if you noticed, I purposely switched the JC so we could have the name, the name on the shirt, so we could talk about it. We could dissect this topic.
He's got Saka in the background, and he's on the side where Saka would be on the thumbnail. I'm telling you, guys, it's been reported that Saka will be agreeing a new deal with Arsenal that'll take him out to 2028, and apparently, it's a verbal agreement, so it's verbal. It's still not pen to paper, but apparently it's verbal, and it's worth in and amongst anywhere between £220,000 to £250,000 a week. Bukayo Saka is apparently just saying, look, see you later, Jurgen. Take it easy, Pep. I'm making sure that I'm staying at Arsenal. He's getting paid to do so. And until 2028, what do you fucking guys think? What do you reckon? I'm happy with that. I mean, to be honest, I'm just a little bit worried. I don't want it to end up where he gets paid the money and he drops off, but I don't see it happening, even though I have seen it happening. Akpos, what are your vibes? I'm kind of fucking happy. I don't want to see him go anywhere.
For me, I'm not really surprised with this report and this news coming out now about Bukayo Saka, because this is an alien boy. This is one of our own. this is a player I always seen that even when the team is doing poorly, you could see how much it means to him. You could see how much he's putting in his effort. He wants to get in the action. He wants to score goals. He wants to assist this team. For me, we are showing still right now because we've seen our club move from a club that were keeping our best players together to a club that are selling our best players season after season, season
Yeah.
after season. So even potential rivals, to even clubs that are our direct rivals in the Premier League. So that was a period where I think it was a bitter pill for me to swallow as an Arsenal fan. I know it was also a bitter one for you to swallow, where you've seen players who have done the famous red and white JC playing for our direct rivals, our direct opponents in a season or two after having a good run of games, after being developed by the football club. But we are showing that we want to keep our best players. We want to keep all of this talent we are developing right now. And these guys are showing that they believe in the project, that the manager and the club have at hand right now. And they want to stay. They love the club. Is a lad who loves the club. Is a lad who the fans love. Is a lad who's loved by the people. So our star boy, our little Chile, has shown that this is the best football club for him. This is where he wants to achieve things. This is where he wants to win. He wants to win trophies. And hopefully, by the end of this season, we'll be able to achieve something. And I think we have a project that it's becoming more lucrative by the day for those players we have at the football clubs. And keeping all of our best players going into the summer, we would be able to attract top players. We will be able to get into the discussion for elite players. Look, I have some of the best players playing right now. Playing football right now in my football club. Would you not want to come and join them? Would you not want to be part of this project? So I think we are showing still we're giving the players this fat contract. We are building on the project. For me, every step on this project is going to count. Giving Bukayo Saka that contract extension will count. Giving William Saliba that contract extension will count also. And the whole project will become more lucrative for us fans, become more lucrative also for potential players who are going to come in the summer.
I think any potential player that sees Bukayo Saka put pen to paper for Arsenal, seeing what he's been able to achieve at Arsenal, started from the bottom, now I'm here. So to see that the club has looked at him, seen that he's got some potential, given him the opportunities, he's taken those opportunities, and then they've held on to him, they've taken care of him and said, look, we want you as part of our plan going forward. Like you said, any player looking into that from the outside says, you know what, this is attractive. It's not about being the name. It's about being the player that gets on the pitch and does a job. And if I can do my job, then I'm going to start. And if I'm going to do my job, then I'm going to get paid. And maybe I'm going to find myself a home. Now, Arsenal, like you said, have been the team that has gotten rid of great players. Robin Van Persie, Sami Nasri, Gael Clichy, Bakary Sagna. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Alex Song.
Right? Alex Song, exactly. I'm not going to get into the Aaron Ramseys because I'm happy to see the fucking back of him. But yeah, we had some players that unfortunately, Adebayor, we saw players come and go. Players that we thought that'd be great, but if we held on to him and maybe grabbed 1, 2, 3 more players, we could build a team. Now we've built a team, and I think
Alexis Sanchez also was a painful one.
Exactly, and he went. It was painful for him to leave. It was great to see what happened at the end of the day, to see what ended up happening to him, Robin Van Persie, on the other hand, well, fuck. But I look at the way the team has come together now, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the team coming together and they're just unified. When you look at them on the pitch, every time a goal is scored, they're all together. Before the game starts, they're all together in a huddle. You can see there's a sense of togetherness, and I think that is something that's really going to push on Bukayo Saka's decision to sign for Arsenal and all these players that are playing for Arsenal now, to see that, you know what, this is a team, this is sort of a home for me now. I can make my name here, and maybe, I can win this big-ass trophy that Arsenal haven't won in a while, if you know what I'm saying. You never know. But looking from outside to in, I think that's a very attractive place to come to. Chelsea OG reckons that the lineup that I had should be a good attacking game. I think so too. Chelsea Dan, Aussie Gunner, I think you guys will draw. Ooh, he says draw. Wow. You want that to happen. I don't think it will. But you know what? You never know. Smash the likes, please, guys. Smash the likes and please sub. Wouldn't mind it. A little bit of love, share. Turn on the notifications, little bell, ding. You'll know when I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, it's going to be me and Akpos because I can't do it without him. He's just too fucking good. He's best looking one of the both of us. So, hey, hopefully Jorginho scores again. If Jorginho scores again, Chelsea OG, do you want to buy him back? Because this Enzo Fernandez guy you got, he looking really fucking flat. And I'm thinking he's giving me James Rodriguez vibes. Really good World Cup and nothing else. I'm just saying. I mean, we've got Mohamed El Neni. He signed another contract. You want to loan? Just saying. In the midfielder. Yeah. Eddie will bag a couple. Can see this being an embarrassing game for Leicester. Proud to be a Geordie coming out swinging. Ooh. You know what? I'll take that all day. Eddie Nketiah scores a brace. Martinelli gets one. Saka gets one. This thing ends up being like 5-0. Fuck. All day. Aussie Gooner, how's you been, mate? And the week been just at work on lunch break. Thought I'd come say hi to you guys. Chelsea, damn big up. I've been doing very well, mate. Been busy, but doing the best I can. Please, guys, Chelsea Dan has got a channel and Chelsea OG has got a channel. These are my Chelsea guys. And please, if you could, jump onto their channels, hit the subscribe button. And if you're not a Chelsea fan, look, check it out from time to time, have shits and giggles. If not, just hit subscribe and don't turn on the notifications. But please, back the channels, back us. This community we got here, Akpos, myself, Mr. Silver Fox in the Armory, Kyle Walsh Gunner, Fran, Chelsea, got Chelsea Dan and Football Capital. It's a small community, much like the Arsenal team, much like. So please, like and subscribe to mine and Akpos. It would be much, much appreciated. What do we got here, guys? We got one more. What do we got here? Ooh, 3-1 to the Arsenal. Agrees with me, guys. Agrees with me. Big up. DWTT 2-0. I'm seeing a lot of confidence here, Akpos. I don't know about you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm thinking everyone's saying win-win to the Arsenal. 3-0 to the Arsenal, another 3-0. They're agreeing with you, Akpos. They think clean sheet. Look at this. Another one for you, 3-0.
The stadium of light has been a good hunting ground for us in the last couple of games. I think in the last 5 games, we've only lost to Leicester in one. We've won all 4. And the one we lost was not even at the stadium of was not even at their stadium. So I think that's where the confidence is also coming from. And with the fact that they have a defense that are licking in goals from all corners right now at the moment. So let's see what's going to happen.
Let's see it, to be honest. We got Silver Fox coming in 4-1. Chelsea Dan talking to BX Gunner. I'll put a bet on this weekend. If all come in, 1,500 cash into my pocket. So he's saying 1-1 to Leicester City. And you know what? Not impressed, mate. The chat is not impressed with that. These Chelsea fans are doing whatever they can to get themselves a buck. They can't watch decent football over there at Stamford Bridge, so they're coming over here trying to make some dodgy bets on Arsenal. If anyone deserves it, it's Saka. You're big up. Look, couldn't have said it better myself. I think Saka has been the standout player in this team. He did start off the season a bit shaky, and I was calling for his head for a while, but shit, has he come on? And I mean, he's carried our attack, he's carried our team throughout the season. And to be perfectly honest, what better way to reward him? 250,000 total, maybe a week, more than Harry Kane is earning at fucking Tottenham Hotspur. Fuck. Oh, guys. But guys, look, I think me and Akpos have covered this game and have covered the Saka situation. I think the best we can. Tell me what you guys think about Saka's pay rise. Is it something to be jumping for joy and saying he deserves, or do we have to tread with caution? I have this one little inkling that every time Arsenal has paid a player a certain amount of money per week, right, I find that player kind of sort of flops. You saw Aubameyang, you saw Mesut Ozil, blah, blah, blah. Now you see Martinelli, new contract, a bit of a struggle. I'm just a little bit wary, you know what I mean? Do you guys think that Bukayo Saka now with the price tag on his head, £250,000 a week? Akpos, tell me what you think. Is it going to hinder him a little bit? Is it going to put a bit of pressure on him? You know what I mean? Is this is what the Chelsea fans want to hear right now. They're saying, ooh, I like this. Bukayo Saka not playing well, like Mudryk. No.
For me, I look at Saka and I look at a player who wants the pressure. I look at a player who is not scared of facing, that intensity. After he missed the penalties, a lot of people were saying, is he going to take up? Is he going to take penalties? Every time there's been a penalty situation, he's stepping up to the plate. So I don't look at a player that is going to get that pay rise and is going to be a little bit relaxed. No, I think he's a player who every time he's on the pitch, we can see the effort there. We can see that this one is playing for the badge. This guy is one of our own. He's not just he's also a fan of this football club. So exactly. I think that's the big a big factor for me why I look at this salary. I look at this new contract as one that this player has carried the team on his back, in my opinion, last season. If we take out his goals, take out his contribution into the team, we would not be as high as we finished last season. So I think this is a well-deserved contract. I look at him also is a player who seems to be focused on playing his football, focused on the game and all of that. So I think all of this are going to be key factors if he continues to be hardworking, continues to improve his play, because a lot of things people have said about him, was not strong enough and all. We see players bouncing off him right now, players who are even bigger than him in terms of their size, but shoulder to shoulder, we've seen some of these players bouncing off him. So it's a player who wants to continue to develop, continue to improve, continue to work on his weaknesses. So I think that's an exciting one for me, and I hope that it's going to keep all of these points, all of these things in check. I think the major thing is focus on your football, focus on playing his football. If he continues to be a lad who wants to play his football, enjoy his game, continue to play for the badge, I think we would see the player even a ceiling even going way higher than what we are seeing right now, because I think we have a potential world-class player in our hands with the way he's playing. If he continues to replicate this form, this season he's already got 9 goals, 8 assists, and we still have a couple of games more to go for the season. So he's a player who could go into double figures assists, double figures goals, and by the end of the season. So for me, continue to play your football, continue to work out, and continue to develop.
21-year-old, England international, statement contract from Arsenal.
One of the best performers for England at the Euros and also at the World Cup.
Waiting for you to say that. And that's a fact. Was used as a scapegoat once. Go get fucked, right? Any team right now would be happy to sign Bukayo Saka in the Premier League right now. Any team would take Bukayo Saka. So to be honest, I think this contract for me, is a statement sort of contract from the team. It's not massive. It's not 350 like Ozil and this and that, but it's big enough when you look at the grander scheme of our contracts to show that the club is showing some ambition and saying, look, we want to keep you, but we want to keep it. We don't want to go silly season on contracts like we did once upon a time. We want to be serious. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's a great move if the team can get him to put pen to paper. Captain's Corner says if the club has no ambition, I don't see Saka signing in the summer. In my opinion.
True.
That's true. That's true. But let's be honest, have the club not shown some ambition previous transfer window with Jesus, with Zinchenko, maybe with some of the signings that we've made? And then when it came to this January transfer window, I know maybe not. Trossard was a decent signing. Any team would have taken him in the Premier League. I mean, I'm talking Man United fans are all saying that was a steal. I'm pretty sure Chelsea fans right now would take him over Mudryk because Mudryk's fucked. Okay. Let's just call a spade a spade. I think that the club is moving forward well. I think it all depends on how the club performs this season. I don't see Bukayo Saka walking away from Arsenal Football Club. I just don't see it. Saka signed a thing and get Saliba a pen. Big up.
And if I want to add something to that, we all know that these players, before they put pen to paper and also before they come to this agreement, they've also been shown the project. They've also been shown the plan moving forward. So he has seen the plan. He has seen some of the players potentially that could join in the summer. So I don't think like what they are showing right now, it's a club that does not have any ambition. First, if we look at the way they are moving about their business, Gabriel Martinelli signed. That's ambition, in my opinion. Bukayo Saka saying that also was signing, has agreed to sign. So that's ambition in my own opinion. So I think he has also seen the plan for potentially the next 2 transfer windows. The managers have talked to him, the owners have talked to him. Okay, this is what we intend to do. moving forward. This is what we tend to do to strengthen the team. So what they're showing right now, I think it's already shows that the club has got some ambition at the moment. They want to go out there and compete, but I think time will reveal a lot of things on the level of ambition they've got, in terms of what they can do, in terms of the players they will be able to bring into the door. But we should not forget that getting into the Champions League is going to be a key factor, which looks like we are getting that done by the end of the season, the way it's looking already. So getting into the Champions League is one of the key factors. Also, the best players want to play in the UEFA Champions League.
Precisely, it's a bare minimum. It was a bare minimum for every single Arsenal fan that we had success in Europa League and made Champions League. I think the way it's working now, it's looking a lot better the way we've been moving forward. We got a few more. We got Chelsea Dan losing his shit. Let's have a quick look. Mr. Silva says Eddie should be on it, knowing that Jesus is close to his return. Bloody oath. Pressure on Eddie right now. Big up. Eddie scores and get pulled. No, that hasn't happened much. Here we go. Chelsea Dan, Atiel Zaguna. Nah, Jorginho flop. Only do it in one game, to be frank. Own goal, and that should be offside. I was talking the same point to your two men near the goal. Villa should be. Look, let's be honest. The two men that were in front of Chelsea Dan, that's a massive stretch, okay? Now we got players that can't be anywhere near the goalkeeper. Come on, man. Have you played the game? Come on, bro. Seriously, if those two players were pulled in, all right, for fucking blocking the view of the goalkeeper and the goal was going to be disallowed, that's a shit show shambles, and that's going to be another referee that's going to be out in his ass. We all know that, yeah? Let's be honest. Come on, bro. Last season with Aston Villa, don't start this shit, bro. This is a weakness. Saka is clutch. Saka is gun. Chelsea Dan, would you take Bukayo Saka at Chelsea right now? Tell me, would you take
it? It walks into their team.
Lewis, here we go. Exactly. He does walk in all day. Chelsea Dan, Jorginho goal was onside because those two Arsenal players did not obscure Martinez's view of Jorginho's shot. Look, if there was any sort of cover, it was only minute, and Martinez still dived in the same direction. Let's just be perfectly honest. Here we go. Atiel Zaguna. Enzo better than Jorginho, mate. I'm fucking... Oh, my God. Chelsea Dan, you took me seriously. Oh, my days. I'm not bothering. Saka is the blueprint of how a player... now, BX Gunner, my guy. Now, that is a comment. Tell me if you don't agree with this, Akpos. Look at that. Saka is the blueprint of how a player should proper come up. Hell yeah. All day.
Exactly.
Started from the bottom down here, from the academy and into the starting line. And that gives every academy player a little bit of a boost. They look at that and they think, you know what? I could be the next Bukayo Saka. Do you know what I mean?
And I think we are having a potential player in the academy. I don't know if you've seen a player who wears the number 7 shirt or the number 11 shirt sometimes for the academy. He has been training with the first team for a while now this season. He was on the bench for the last couple of games. Not on the bench for the last game, but was on the bench for the Everton game and some of the games this season. I think his name should be Desbury or something. I need to check it.
That'd be interesting. I don't know much about the guy. Let me know.
I'd love to know. If I'm a player like him right now, looking at what Bukayo Saka is achieving, I think he would be licking his fingers and saying, okay, Saka could do it, come from ALN, could go through the same routes. It plays in potentially the same position. I could also do it.
You see, that's the thing. I love this from Arsenal Football Club, bringing up players from our academy. It's great to have a great academy. Declan Rice ran into Saka and lost. Laugh out loud, dude. Many players. We were talking about it before. Shoulder to shoulder, players are fucking hitting the deck now. Even Eddie Nketiah's put on some muscle, so that's good to see. Dan, you gave us the Jorginho in his prime. You gave us Jorginho in his prime for 12 mil. BX Gunner. Oh my God. When Bobby asked Rivals fans to name combined 11, every single one of them has picked Saka. There you go. I think, honestly, nobody can diss Bukayo Saka and him getting this contract. And I do believe he's going to sign it. Agent Ober infiltrated and sabotaged Chelsea this year. Laugh out loud. He's still on the payroll. That's it, eh? He's still wearing Arsenal shorts underneath his Chelsea ones. You know what I mean, bro? Big's gonna, yes, old. He had it now. Jorginho, we have played. Enzo, gonna be world class with Kante. Kante's finished, man. He's a great player, but he's injury prone. That guy was such a good midfielder. I just don't think he can do it anymore. I think the injuries are getting to him, but that was a gun midfielder, and that was a midfielder Arsenal could have had instead of Granit Xhaka. Can you say? Let's Leicester 3-1. This inverted business with Zinni is doing my head in. So Leicester to win this 3-1. Captain's Corner is saying Arsenal to lose 3-1 to Leicester. Fuck, you'd be the only one that's saying it in this chat. But you know what? That's your thing. That's your thing. Dan, you gave us a World Cup player for 12 mil. Dan, everyone's coming at you, bro. Everyone is coming at you. Also, Dan, everyone knows Italians turn up after 30. Neto, Maldini. We won't get into that. Aussie Guna, I won't talk too much. Give Mudryk time. He will be world class. Hey, you never know. He could be world class or he could be the next Pepe. I don't know. I'm saying it's first. Anyone says it's in the future. Saka, future Ballon d'Or contender.
That's a loud one.
Wow, bro, this guy's coming out, man. You know what? You have said it first on my stream. I'm not gonna fucking forget that. Oh man, no way. Saka, nah, never good. No, Saka, nah, never not good. Never not good. Elite enough for our club. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. Okay, so right. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not. And Mudryk is. You take Mudryk, you take that winger that you've got there who hasn't played for 4 months and just runs up and down the fucking pitch, gets on for fucking 45 minutes and has to get substituted off over Saka. Yeah, good luck, man. You know what? Yes, I hope if that's the way Chelsea Football Club work and that's the new Bowley effect, keep fucking going with it. Keep that energy. Keep that energy, Chelsea Dan. I love it. Long may it continue at Chelsea Football Club. Save the fucking bridge, man. Save Bowley. Save your fucking pennies. Save your cents. Save your memories. Because that's all they're going to be, is memories of fucking good times under Abramovich. You know how the NFL teams have that franchise quarterback? Well, Saka is that guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fucking all day.
I think right now, it's just 2 football clubs where I look at the players who play in Saka's position. I think, okay, we would have to, think about it. It's Liverpool and Man City. Every other club, I think Bukayo Saka starts in that position.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because
every other club in the division, every other club. Mohamed Salah and Riyad Mahrez, those 2 players. Okay, we would have to,
Riyad.
I think that's going to be a very hard debate. But for every other football club in this league, Bukayo Saka walks into that position.
You know what? I'd have to agree. You'd see Mahrez and Saka, one game on, one game off, one game on, one game off. And at Liverpool, there's no way in the world he's going to get over Salah. Nah, exactly. Salah is like he's there at Thierry Henry now. You know what I mean? There's no one that's going to knock him off that perch.
He's an elite on that elite level.
Yeah, man. He's look. Salah has done it for years. Honestly, he's done it for years. Kante problem is he's still at Chelsea. The chat's going off. Aussie Kante not finished. He's better than Jorginho. Kante more prime than floppy Jorginho. I'm not saying Jorginho is better than Kante. No, Kante is a better midfielder. I say Kante's injury prone. That's all. If Kante doesn't get injury prone, if Kante hasn't got injuries, he's a fucking gun player. I'd take him all day. But guys, on that note, me and Akpos have been kicking the shit out of this fucking stream. We've covered fucking this, that, all of the above. I'd like to thank everyone in the chat. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Aussie Guna channel. Turn on the notifications bell. Please do that. So that way, whenever we release some content, you guys will get notified. And if you look at the banner, right, Akpos' channel is right there, Football Talk Shop. If you look at the description, there is a hyperlink there you can click on. Football Talk Shop. Jump in. Turn on the notifications bell, hit the subscribe, like a few of his videos. I want to try and jump on these channels so we can have some shits and giggles fucking moments. And look, we've had plenty of people jump in. Had Chelsea Dan having a fucking mad time talking some shit, but you know what? It's all good because I love the bloke. Chelsea OG in the building, my guy. BX Gunner, big up. Fran, big up. Seriously, big up everyone in the chat. DWTT, much love. And look, guys, if you could, look, show a little bit of love to Arsenal right now. Even if you guys are, from opposing clubs and blah, blah, blah. A little bit of love our way because, we're up the top of the league and we're representing London. we're the only team really representing London right now. You know what I mean, Akpos? We're doing it for everyone. We're doing it for West London. We're doing it for North, the East, the South. We'll do it for all of London. Arsenal representing. You know what I mean, bro? So, guys, look, big up everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for joining. And look, from the Aussie Gooner, from Akpos, from Australia, guys, it's Uru, guys. It's Uru.